Hi, I'm Mike Sullivan. Welcome to Guitar Tech, how to do it yourself. Hi, Gospel Guitarist here with a third episode on the Roland GR-55 Guitar Synthesizer. In this video I will just talk about the outputs and inputs on the back of the unit. My main goal was going to be just the guitar stuff, but there's a bunch of things on here to talk about, so let's get started with that. The first video I talked about installing it on your guitar, the GK1 pickup or GK3 pickup system on your guitar. The second video I made was how to set up your pickup inside the Roland unit itself, with all the different settings that can be done for the pickup to make sure it's going to operate for you. In this video I'm going to talk about how to hook up your unit with the different pieces of gear that you can use this with. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take this 13-pin cable that came with the unit and plug it into your GK input right here. And that's one cable is all you need to hook up your guitar to the box. You don't use an ordinary guitar cable. They are summed up into this one MIDI input cable. It carries your analog guitar pickup sound as well. Which brings us to the first jack here where it says guitar out. So this jack here, you have different software options to set up inside the unit so that it'll put out just the plain pickup sound on your guitar all by itself, or you can use the modeling in this box to simulate a Stratocaster played through a Marshall amplifier or a Fender Twin, and it'll output the modeling as well as your pickup tone out of this jack. You also have the option of just shutting this down and not using it at all. And you can set it up to work with patches or just work with all the patches or selective patching. So this one here, the important thing to know is that this is just your guitar output signal. So if I want to use the guitar synth for synthesizer sounds like strings and orchestra type stuff, but I want a complete normal guitar rig to play through, then I can run a normal guitar cable from here to my Marshall half stack or my rack equipment or whatever I want to play through and have a normal guitar setup. Now next to it over here you have the output jacks, and this will be stereo or mono. So you can run out, for example, you can run out the mono. I have a Roland JC120 amp as one of my amplifiers, so I could come out the mono and just run it straight into my channel and have all of my guitar sound. Or I can run it in stereo coming out of here and running it into the effects returns in stereo on the back of my JC120, bypassing the front preamps on my amplifier completely, so I'd only be using the amplifier and the speakers of the cab, and this would become my preamp. So I could run, for example, using that setup, I could run out of here into my JC120 for stereo synth sounds, and then run my guitar out to a tube guitar rig, like a normal Marshall stack or guitar amplifier, or my my Digitech 2101 that's in my rack setup, which is all tube. So I can have a real tube guitar tone instead of a simulated guitar tone while playing other synthesized instruments coming out these outputs here. So I could have up to 3 things coming out of the machine, to basically even up to 3 different amplifiers, because I could have a separate amp on each one of these outputs for stereo. If I use the front inputs on my amp, I could have 2 JC120s powered by these 2, and then a full Marshall stack being powered out of the guitar out. So for performing on stage, you've got a lot of options here. We move over again, we have the headphones. This is set to a line out, and it just has a nice warm headphone sound to it, so you can jam quietly. It has MIDI input and output and V-Link. I'm not familiar with the V-Link until I got this. I never heard of it. Apparently you can control background lighting and, you know, like stage lighting and concert lighting and things through this with a MIDI box that you can buy from Roland, I guess, and do custom stage lighting effects and things. So that's kind of cool. Other than that, this is just an average MIDI input and output, so you could hook up a MIDI controller to extend the capabilities if you want more pedals to step on. Then that'll work. Or if you want your computer to control this box in the studio, you can use these. Next over, we have a computer. There's a little cover here. It's just a little cover. It pops off. This is the industrial size, as I like to call it, USB output. It's the same kind you find on like your printers and other bigger computer gear. It's more sturdy. I like the fact that they went with the heavy duty one instead of the thin skinny things. So this is not just a computer output, it is a MIDI output. So now you have two MIDI outputs on and inputs on this. It'll interface with your computer. So if you have a digital audio workstation on your computer, this will send audio and MIDI signals to your software. So not only can you record the audio of your guitar or piano sounds or whatever you're playing at the moment, it will also send the MIDI notes to the computer. So you actually can have the sheet music being written at the same time. So that's kind of cool. I've always wanted that. So that's something that's nice. I have messed with it just a little bit, and it's pretty cool. I have Finale, so it's kind of nice to, not the full-blown Finale, I don't have that kind of money, but I have Songwriter and Print Music. So Songwriter's on my laptop, that's the one I used. I plugged this in to my laptop and just brought up a blank music score and started messing around on the guitar, and presto, all the notes started showing up in my software, so that was kind of cool. I know I got some setup to do in the software maybe to make sure it's all tracking the way it should be, but that was pretty cool. So I don't know how long I will keep this cover on here. I'll probably lose it shortly. So that's all that's on the back. You got your power switch right here. Your DC-N is right here for your power supply. And that's all that's on the back of the unit. I was pretty happy to see the separate guitar out so that you could actually use, you know, separate out the guitar sounds, because one of my concerns was how can I retain my guitar rig tone and use this as an added instrument, which is, you know, what I would like to do. So finding the guitar out on this was, I like that a lot. It's kind of like a true bypass situation where your guitar comes in through the MIDI system and then it just kind of goes right out here, but you can set that up and customize it. So that's it for the setup on the back of this. There's a lot of options to run it through. I've played it in through my JC120 and it sounds pretty good, and I've played it a little bit through my Carbon acoustic AG100D amplifier, which sounds pretty cool too. So I'm going to do more experimentation with the guitar output than go through my tube rig. The other thing you can do too is I have a Tascam recording deck, so I can come out of these three here to three separate tracks on my recording deck directly. So you can have a lot of good recording setup control for when you're going to sit down and write songs. So that's it for this video, the shortest of the three. So this way at least you can see what options you have on the output of the GR-55, and have fun with yours. If you just got one, I'm having fun with mine. So we'll probably turn out more videos as we go along. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found the video helpful, and if you have questions, be sure to post them. I'm learning too, so the manual is really detailed on all the patch settings. That's a little lacking on how to apply all the technology though, so it's going to be a lot of experimentation. but it's a very capable unit. So leave questions on anything you have about the unit, and I'll try my best to answer them, maybe even with an upcoming video. So video ideas are always welcome. So thanks for watching. Have a good day now. Well, thanks for watching, and see you next time on Guitar Tech, how to do it yourself.